Good morning, good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. Welcome to My Time to Journal, an untrained person playing with lots of art supplies and having fun. Join me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying to get this up so you can see it. It's a big book. Didn't think about that when I started to make this. I'll try to get it back down closer as I'm going, but I don't know. So this is my gratitude from the tube. My way of making a gratitude journal is to thank, in this book, the people that inspired me, whether it's through a tube of paint or through YouTube. And I'm picking them randomly. There's no favoritism. There's no, oh, this one's on the front because I like this one the best. There's none of that. It's just, I'm putting my hand in here randomly, and that's the page I'm going to do. No plans, no nothing. That's how I like to work. So let's pick out today's page. I'm trying to randomly come up with the page. And I think I'm going to flip it only because I'm getting the page that's on this side, on the right-hand side. So if I flip it, I'll get the left-hand page. So, all right. Charlotte Moss. Oh, fun. Okay. This is a lady that, I'll put a picture of her book right here. And she does lots of record keeping through journaling, but in a form where she'll save like a letterhead from a Paris hotel or her invitation to a party that she threw. She's a big New York socialite. And she's been doing this for years. And of course, she goes above and beyond because she leather bounds her books. Mine are in books from Goodwill. That's okay. But it's I'll show you. She's the one that gave me some inspiration for if you saw my journal from last series, there was a page that I did that was blues. That was one of her inspirations because she often takes a color and makes pictures out of it. And this is one of her coffee table books. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I actually found one at a thrift store, so now I have two. All right, okay, here's a good example of purple. There's all kinds of purple images from her life, from magazines. I think she's a big decorator type in New York also, so she has like decorator brochures. Here's blue. I just think these are beautiful. Beautiful. So, we need to do something like this today. Scrapbooks, collages, and inspirations. I mean, like, here's a bunch of flowers. Beautiful. Collage. And this is her leather-bound books. FYI, mine don't look like that. Alrighty, well, I happened to grab one of my husband's much looked at gardening magazines. Just because I saw that other page in Charlotte's book that had flowers. And we all know, well, most of you all know my favorite color is purple, so let's go with purple and see how that works for us. How many purple flowers can we find? And there's a lot of greenery in here, so starting out maybe with a background of green and bringing it forward with purple. But it is quite therapeutic to do things like this. There are people that make journals of just nothing but color and do collages like this in altered books all day long. I just like the variety of anything. But again, it's just cutting paper and gluing it back down and making, as Sharon Green said, oh, she's not in here. She should be in here. Sharon Green says, make a magazine that you would have made or something to that effect. And why? Just because. You don't have to have a reason why. Just because. That's me. Just because. Let me see if I have enough here now that I can work with. And And I didn't go into a closer shot there because I wanted you to be able, I mean, it's not like I'm working with, you know, a paint stroke or whatever. I am trying to get a little, well, I guess I did go in a little bit, but I wanted you to be able to see as much as possible here. And actually the page that's underneath this one is peeking out there, and it's watercolor paper with a little bit of lavender on it. So hello, that all works. And some of the flowers I'm cutting real close cropped. Some of them I'm leaving square. But I am just, you know, making my own purple flower garden. And Charlotte Moss taught me how to do that. I highly, if you love this kind of stuff, that book by Charlotte Ross is really, really great. And I think, I know I got one of mine on Amazon, but I did find another one at a used bookstore and Goodwill or someplace, I think pretty much down at the beach, I think. Because I do more of that kind of stuff down at the beach than I do here for sure. Didn't used to, but I do now. So yeah, oh, that iris is absolutely gorgeous. And I got real close on that one, probably because I'm going to kind of put some stuff woven under it, I think. Possibly, if I can try to see if that will work. But fun. And there are things that have, like, they were left oriented or right oriented, like the iris and this chair, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It can all work together. It's just, you know, it's just paper, people. It's just paper, and you're having fun, and I repeat this all the time. It's just fun. It's therapy. It's coming up with, you know, I don't have to make excuses. I just like doing this. I just like doing this. I don't have to make a reason why or whatever. Just because I like, there's where I kind of weave the iris in a little bit. Just because I like doing it. No other reason. I just like doing it. And I will say, when I was at journaling the other day, on Tuesday, I opened a book that I had started doing kind of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, wow, look at that. That reaction is why I do it. Oh, wow, look at that. And you have to touch the page, you know, when that kind of stuff happens. You just have to touch the page. It's just fun. It's just fun. So Charlotte Moss, save it and collage it. And she saves everything. You know, her menus for fancy parties and her invitations to other people's fancy parties and a letterhead from a fancy hotel. Me, I'm getting out a gardening book and making a fancy purple page. But it just makes my heart sing. So you got to do it. And then you got to do it again and again and again. And then pretty soon you have 73 journals like I do. I can't remember. I counted them at the beginning of the year. I think it was in the 70s. Yeah. One day I'll show you the entire stack of them. Or a couple of bookshelves worth of them. But yeah. And there are people that may not make this book because I might run out of room because I thought of 2 more last night. So, you know, this book could have a volume 2 to it pretty soon. Okay. Charlotte Moss, save it and collage it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I violated some rules, but in this particular instance, I'm okay with it. Doesn't look as bad. You're supposed to, the collage police say, you're supposed to start big and work up, getting smaller and smaller. Well, this is a large flower right here. These are small. They're next to each other. Did that mess up the collage police? I don't know. But guess what? I'm in a journal police free zone. So I can do what I want. I added something besides flowers by putting in the little chair with a purse, or not a purse, but a tote bag. And I also cut out a little cup that was in that same scene because it was purple. And it just kind of gives some contrast right there. Not contrast. Melding of the lines. You can barely tell that there's a line right here. And that was kind of like what she did sometimes. Love it. I call that one a success. Check. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow with some other kind of fun experiment.